Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Or in fact, good evening. It's actually 10 p.m. I'm going to say something very important before we begin. I would exhort every single one of you who harbour nostalgic feelings for this game to stop watching immediately. Not just nostalgic feelings, but affection, nostalgic affection, and appreciation for this game. Please stop watching, because I don't want to turn into this iconoclastic asshole who's ruining your favourite game from when you were just getting into RPGs or something like that. I don't like this game. I played it at the time when it came out, and I did have that moment of realization just I guess about 40 or 50 minutes ago when I started setting up this frickin' recording. That's how long it's taken. I had that moment of realization that it was 10 years ago when this game came out, and it, creeped me out a little bit. But there is a story associated with the fact that I had even played this game in the first place. I must tell you that I never knew anyone except for one guy who had played this game, and I didn't actually realize that this was a celebrated game until maybe, 4 years ago or so. I think it was when I was playing with that group of people when World came out, and I think one of them mentioned Kingdoms of Amalur, and I was like, oh god, that game. And he was like, what do you mean that game? A lot of people really like that, and I was absolutely blown away. I couldn't believe it. It was, that statement he made was met with, untold levels of incredulity from me. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was a pretty average fucking game, but I suppose, it came out at the right time and a few people picked it up and they had a lot of fun with it. Perhaps before they were more discerning when it came to game quality. Anyway, the story of how I came to play this game back when it came out actually relates to a person that I've referred to before in previous recordings. It is the guy who I got into the Soul series, who played a lot of games. He played many different video games, and that is one of the reasons why he got this when it came out, among so many other games that he would play. Quite ironically, as I think about it, I gave him the Soul series, and he gave me this fucking game. So I'd say the scales are slightly out of balance here, but I tried to give him Monster Hunter 2, but he wouldn't take it. He wasn't into it. But yeah, I've actually got his copy right here. This is the PS3 version that I played on at the time, and I have to tell you that it didn't impress me then, and I don't think it's going to impress me now. The reason why he gave me this game was because he was almost insulted by how average it was. In a sense, I am amending or refining what he had said to me at the time. What he actually said to me, these were his words, I'm still going to technically be paraphrasing, but he said, "This is one of the worst games I've ever played. I don't want it. You can have it." He didn't want to sell it, which he could have easily done. He just wanted it out of his hands as quickly as possible. He didn't want to look at it anymore, and he gave it to me. I said, well, if it's really that bad, it may be entertaining to play. And so, yeah, I picked it up. I remember this thing right here, picked it up, looked at it. One of the first things I saw was Big Huge Games. And I'm like, what? Big Huge Games. And then another thing caught my attention from the minds of R.A. Salvatore, Todd McFarlane, I guess, and Ken Rolston. And I said to myself, there are 3 of you motherfuckers behind this game, and presumably every single one of you thought that Big Huge Games was a good name, something to slap on the front of your video game. I mean, not even a child would think that. Is it ironic? Is it supposed to be funny? Big Huge Games. It's neither funny nor clever nor exciting nor anything good. Anyway, that was my first impression when I saw the front of the game. Maybe some people would be looking at the cool guy with the armor and the hammer. I don't even know how much you can see that, to be honest. But I'm just pointing it in front of the webcam and hoping that you are able to see something of what I'm attempting to demonstrate to you. But yeah, that was not my focus. I was looking at the big, huge games and the fact that it was from EA, which already had me gagging. So yeah, I went and took it home, popped it into my PlayStation, and I probably played it for about 5 hours. I don't think I got very far, but it just didn't impress me. I mean, I was well into my Souls gameplay at that point. I was absolutely neck deep in Dark Souls, had played a lot of Demon Souls, and, you know, I had very low tolerance for basic RPGs like this. Really low tolerance. It's a hack and slash, effectively. The thing is, if a game is going to be really basic in terms of its design, and it's like this, I want it to be a JRPG where the story is something that I'm actually interested in. But the gameplay for this is pretty frickin' average, and as far as I can recall, the story, if it does exist, isn't very good either. So, you know, as I said, those of you who really enjoyed this game and perhaps attach your self-image, your ego to the things that you like, please don't continue watching this, because I'm going to insult this game and I don't want you to get insulted as well. But if you continue to get insulted after I've offered you that warning, there's not too much I can do about it now, is there? Let's put this fucking nauseating thing away. Oh, there's the game in front of me. Oh, that's actually that's probably the best way to overcome displeasure, is to expose yourself to it in the most extreme way possible. Here it is, the video game. Now, I had a lot of issues getting this set up. As I said, it took me like 40 minutes to get this set up, and the reason why was because, well, I don't know, sometimes when you're setting up a recording, everything just goes wrong and you have to spend extra time getting things set up, you know, outside of your calculations. But this game, because it's bad, and is not a very good PC port, it, for some reason, couldn't recognize my controller setup. It just would not work. It's worked for every other freaking game I've launched through Steam, but this game didn't like it, so I had to go and get out this really clunky, not that old Logitech PC controller. Interestingly enough, I had an older version of this from like, I don't know, 13 years ago, and I chucked it out during my move because I realized, well, why am I holding on to this thing? I'm going to get rid of it. So yeah, I actually used to have 2 of these, which I never used, but I'm actually about to use it. It's going to be really bad. The D-pad is freaking loud. Listen to that. I don't know how audible that is. Hopefully not that audible. It's going to be a little further away from the microphone when I'm using it, but anyway, the point is that it's a freaking nasty controller compared to what I'm used to using. I mean, you go from a DualShock 3 to this, and it's a little rough, but anyway. We're going to go to new game. I don't know if the cutscene's going to be too loud or not. I watched a little bit of the cutscene. I hadn't seen it since it came out, obviously, but I needed to use something to test the audio levels of the game. If it is a little too loud, I will make adjustments, but I think for the most part it's going to be alright. Do expect it to be loud, but anyway. Oh yes, difficulty, we'll just go with normal. I want to appreciate what the game has to offer,
From
you
the
know.
beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the 2nd decade of the conflict,
I feel like we just skipped a few paragraphs of fucking information by the time we got to this point. It's like, oh yeah, the battle, yeah.
Among the Fae,
Yeah, all about that. I know everything of what you're speaking.
Magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide.
I remember actually watching this at the time and going, wow, I'm already bored. Which was a record, I think. Oh. I haven't seen this since, you know, I last played it, by the way. Up to this point, I haven't seen it. So.
Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen. Terrible and deadly.
Sorry, what the fuck is going on?
Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha
Gadflow.
believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a
Amalur.
mortal
Sorry,
army.
I was saying
No matter
Amalur.
the
It's
power of their
Amalur.
god,
Amalur.
we might have been victorious.
Yes, we
But
might
the
have been.
Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death.
Ooh, the
Those
Fae.
two life are fallen
Who
on
the fuck are they again?
Would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force?
This game is
For
far
10
too
years,
violent.
the war raged. For 10 years, the armies of men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
Oh. Well, that's a very unceremonious way to just end the game. You're in the opening cutscene and you've already died. Game over. And you're not getting your money back. Well, I suppose you could try to sell it, but who would buy it? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why my friend just gave me the game. Oh, see, I was about to say that it sounded as if he was lying down after a long day. Why is this so loud? This is the loudest fucking game I've ever launched. My audio settings would actually cause one to believe that the game was not going to be loud, and it's deafeningly loud at low audio volume.
Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Gran?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead.
Why are you calling him boy when he looks, I wouldn't say elderly, but he's
Go on and pull that
not
trigger.
young.
It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
You two look to be the same age. Oh, what's going on? Here we go, character creation screen. As I yeah, I'm already enjoying myself for sure. I am a little concerned about audio levels. I'm sure that was very loud, but you have to understand that that could have just been the cutscene. As you know, cutscenes are often separate to the rest of the audio settings. I should, excuse me, mention, or rather expand on something that I have already mentioned, and that is the fact that this is a pretty bad port. Options are very limited. I don't even know what frame rate this game is running at. It gave me no option to select a preferred frame rate or, you know, screen refresh rate or anything like that. It's just going to run at whatever it is going to run at. And fortunately, I am streaming at 60 FPS, so if it's going to go as high as 60, then it's going to be provided for by my current encoding settings, but fuck if I know how this is going to turn out. I also found out, well, I technically found out before, but forgot, and by before I mean before the game came out, that it was being remastered. I was reminded when I was checking online to see if there were widely reported issues with controllers connecting to the PC version of this game that I'm playing here. And, yeah, they called it Re-Reckoning. You know what I think they should have done? Made a new fucking game. Why do they return to this one? Honestly. Big, huge games have ambition. They sure do. There was another point that I was going to make. There's so many things to say. But I suppose I should start playing the game, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm not playing the Re-Reckoning, as they called it. The Re-Reckoning, honestly. I suppose it's better than call it... actually... Yeah, I suppose it's... No, never mind. I was about to give them a pass on something, conceptually speaking, but no, I've changed my mind. I will play as a female. I played as a male the first time I actually launched the game back on PlayStation 3, so I will do something a little different. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Liosalfa? Liosalfa. Maybe it's a silent L, Yosalfa. Because I don't like the Lio. That's rather uncomfortable to say. Let's just assume that it's a silent L, which is very awkward when the first letter is capitalized, because if it's capitalized, you really want to say it. But that's not what's happening here. Maybe I should be... I mean, some of you would... Oh, then again, I never actually expressed to you that I was comparing the characters by their appearance, not by their stats, but yeah, I probably should be comparing the stats. So we've got Persuasion +1, Alchemy +1, Blacksmithing +2. I think my own persuasion level is significant. In real life, to have persuaded myself to actually go and play this game. That's the other point that I was going to make. I had actually purchased this game about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, pursuant to the recording process that you're watching today. That's how long it took me to actually start recording this thing. I bought this version of the game before the remaster was even announced to actually play it for you, but I was really slow with doing that. I wonder why. I had other priorities, I guess you would say. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom into your milkers? I don't know. Maybe... Is it... Oh no, it's definitely not LT and RT. That's to change gender. Well, okay, lockpicking plus... I'm not interested in any of that shit. I'm going to be really meat-headed and go for damage skills, you know. Why are two of you giving me persuasion skills? Maybe there aren't that many... Well, I should say. It's the racial bonuses, not the skills that they have. Okay. Sorry, I was actually underestimating the game. I thought that maybe they were just going to have 3 skills. But no, that's not how that works. These are just the racial bonuses, which you should play towards. You shouldn't just get your racial bonuses and then level up something completely different. That would be ill-advised. That's good to hear, Baines. I'm not really expecting to enjoy this game. I guess part of my concern is that the mere fact that I'm recording this game, at least in my own opinion, is beneath my dignity. So what that means is that people will see me play this game and assume that I like it. But interestingly enough, and I should mention this for the benefit of those who haven't heard me mention it before, that something I've always wanted to do was to deliberately play terrible games on my channel. It just never happened. And unfortunately, this game is not so terrible that it's obviously a joke that I'm playing it. So people will assume that I'm some kind of Kingdoms of Amalur fan, which I'm really fucking not. That's one of the reasons why I have strenuously distanced myself from the, I guess you'd call it the fan base of this game. Anyway, I need to make a decision. Are the skills different? Okay, the skills are the same, irrespective of gender choice. So, how about we go with this lady here? Yes. Oh, here we go. Stat time. Oh yeah, I need to say re-reckoning, don't I? Otherwise you won't know what it is I'm referring to. Okay, so apparently... So you've lost me now. Oh, I see, they're not elements? This is very confusing. So, I was about to say, fire, wisdom, war, order, and justice are apparently elements, but I don't think that's how that works. This is instead a patron bonus. So, sorry, I mean, if it may seem as if I'm being really stupid right now, it's because I'm expecting the game to give me the bare minimum, and it's actually giving me some choices here that are a little better than I was expecting. So I'm literally sitting here going, oh, these all elements, are they? Sorry, I guess it's because I saw fire. I never go for these sorts of bonuses, that's not how you play the game. And you can also go with none. Oh, you get an experience bonus if you choose not to get any of these. Well, that is actually tempting. Although, that's only a 1% increase. No, fuck that. A 1% increase of experience points. Not worth it. Yeah, so it was 10 years ago when the game came out, Baines, and I haven't played it since then, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's a bit of a slow start, isn't it? I will try to speed things up and actually begin playing the game as soon as possible. Why is it that fire is the only element represented here? Maybe most of the enemies are fire or something, which would be strange. Anyway. I would say that order is the most balanced. Let's just go with that. These presets are a bit fucking awful. of these, I suppose the first one, which is unfortunate because if it's the first one, that's probably the one that most people would choose. But it does happen to be the best one. Here we go, character customization. I don't think I'm going to take it seriously. Should I take it seriously or should I not? Wait, okay, why are you turning yellow? Oh, I see. So rather than a progression of tone, in a black and white sense, it's a... Yeah, here we go. So you can have a bit greyish, you can have... Anyway, I'm not going to get into the details. I can have like a weird orange tan, or I can... I mean, honestly, the first one was fine. Fuck, don't even remember which one the first one was. I think it was this one. Eye colour is irrelevant to me. Why do they say lipstick colour as if to suggest that she can only wear lipstick, and to not wear lipstick would be completely unacceptable? I guess you can probably have... Maybe that is no lipstick, I don't know. Lipstick intensity. About no lipstick. Why does that look more intense than what I had previously? Oh, no, don't confirm it. Don't confirm it just yet. Here we go, I've got a hairstyle choice. Here I was saying that I wanted to actually start playing the game soon, and I'm instead stuck in fucking character creation. Do you know that they've got an option to turn off helmets in this game? You know what that means, don't you? It's all about the fashion. Hoo-yeah. So I'd better... Why is it that in previous screens I could rotate my character, but during the hairstyle selections period, I'm not allowed to actually see the hairstyle from other angles? Is that not the most illogical thing you've ever heard? Alright. You can have almost no hair colour as appealing here. This will do. Eyebrow colour, please have it match that. There you go. One would presume that that if you wanted them to match, that would be right. I don't even know if I like that hairstyle. Let's have a look at the other ones properly. We'll go with that. Accessories, jewelry, fucking no stud, straight up. Straight up. Are those coming from the ears and I can't see it because the ears are covered by hair, most likely? That is the largest fucking nose ring I've ever seen. That is a huge lip ring as well. Yeah, obviously some of it is attached to the ears, which can't be seen. Alright, no jewelry. How about tattoos? Face tattoos, yeah. I'd rather an actual circlet than a tattoo across the forehead like that. Alright. I don't want any tattoos, that's it. Face? We've already made decisions. Alright, let's confirm. I've been here for long enough.
One of the human women looks Almain to me, and in good shape. These Almain women, wound tighter than a Varani crossbow.
I read women and tight,
Alright then.
and certainly thought of something different to what was said in the end.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad.
Now we're discussing how well her body has held up.
Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
I wonder what's gonna happen now. Is he gonna... Does that mean that, canonically speaking, that guy named us? That's a bit creepy. Anyway, it's creepy because it means that we woke up with a name that he gave us and we just rolled with it. We're like, yeah, that's fine. Oh, unless we did lose our memory, that would be quite alright. I hadn't even considered what name I would like. See, I don't want to... Do I take it seriously or do I not? That is the first question that must be asked. Alright.
Well, that's it for you then.
Oh, into the
Better
oven.
luck next time.
Well, wasn't expecting such a violent end after I had met a violent end. If I die twice, does that mean I'm finally fucking dead? Okay, quite frankly, this is disturbing. No, actually, I find the face of my character to be scarier than this shit. Oh, I thought she was taking a bite out of that. I suppose she was suddenly struck with the desire to consume rotting flesh. Which, to be honest, would perfectly suit the facial expression she was making. She looked both deranged and also rather inhuman. This is disgusting. What a disgusting way for a game to start. She's barefoot too, and I don't want to know what she just landed in. Fucking... ugh. Body sludge or something. Okay. She's now making erotic noises after... yeah, nice ass shot. Okay. But yeah, I think the timing of the erotic noises could possibly have been better. Now, I do know that holding A actually allows me to run. I only know that... well, okay. I only know that because I saw the controls before. Look at her go. She's not just running, she's really going for it. Some characters in video games, they run very casually. She actually looks like she's doing a sprint. Leaning forwards. Pumping her fucking arms in front of her. That's the way you do it. What's this? I can't interact with that. What's the jump button? That's the roll button. Do I have a jump button? No. Doesn't appear that I do, which is fine. I don't expect there to be one, necessarily. Alright. Looks like we've got something to interact with over there. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the, I suppose you'd call it, compass minimap there. Is everything already discovered on the minimap? I suppose so. Maybe I shouldn't go past it. Let's interact with it. Pick up... oh, come on. Pick up the notes. Secrecy is still important in our work, requiring specialized disposal of our unfortunate failures. Piling remains have become a concern in the lower caverns. A concern? That was absolutely putrid. And you call that a concern? So an incinerator has... oh, so I was dropped in an oven. Or at least I should have been. Or at least they should have been, quite frankly. At the end of the day, I do have to play the game. I have made the decision to sit down and play it for your entertainment or something, so I should stop sitting here wishing that my character were dead. I'm not even going to finish reading that sentence. I couldn't be bothered. This should make disposal work slightly less horrible, although you should avoid drinking water from downstream of the ash dumps, as if one needed to be advised against doing such a thing. To be honest, I wouldn't feel like eating or drinking after engaging in that sort of work. Hardly a fitting rest for the poor things, but if it's any consolation, these weren't their original bodies in the first place. Okay, it's a fucking plot twist that I didn't need, whatsoever. Loot skeleton. I always wondered about that. Of course, it's not unique to this game, it's very much a theme in many video games, but what the fuck is a skeleton carrying? It's got nothing. It's got nowhere to keep its loot or its belongings. I hate how the camera works. It's one of those games where you let go of the analog stick and the camera still moves a little bit. You know, it has to catch up with what you've just actually chosen to do. Here we go. I've got a sword. Rusty sword, yeah. Here we go. This is how we engage with the loot system. We can take all, obviously, and I probably would have been better placed to do that rather than... hold on. You have acquired new items. To see your new items, press start. They actually force us to do that. They don't just give us the information and then the information goes away. You have to follow the instruction. Alright, equip the sword. Yes, I'm beginning to remember all of this now. It's funny. I suppose it wasn't that long ago in the end. Disposable notes. Have we... yes, we were just reading this. I don't know if we need to keep that or not. Our mana is at 54, health is at 51 out of 54, and we have 0% fate. I'm going to assume that fate is accumulated during combat. I don't know what we can do with fate. I've got no recollection of how that system or function works, but yeah, I think that's... Oh, hold on, I do have a quest, apparently. Stop it! I'm fucking pressing the wrong buttons now. The quest log contains all your quests. Sorry, all of your quests. You can set your active quest by selecting a quest. Okay, so... I think the repetition of the use of the word quest was a little unnecessary there. Out of the darkness. Well, I've only got one quest anyway. I can select the map, which is nice. Happy to see that. Well of Souls, that's a very good Candlemas song. Anyway. Almost burst into song. I always wanted to know what it was like. Unfortunately, there is no jump button, so I can't jump in there after him. I hate this camera. Part of me feels as... You see, the camera does do a little bit of work on its own. So it almost encourages me not to use it. But I shall. Alright.
They're all over. Run!
I hope the game's not too loud. You'll let me know if it is, won't you? Who's screaming? Did I just avoid getting crushed? No. I did not. This camera is so unruly, it doesn't want to... See, this is the thing. It's giving me the opportunity to move it on my own, but it also does a lot of its own movement. And that's fucking confusing. It actually makes me sick. Not really, but it's on the edge of doing that. Alright, that's how I attack. Do I have a strong attack? No. Oh, there's an auto-sheathing function. Or feature. Press X to attack. That's a lovely shot. She looks like she's walking like an Egyptian. But perhaps an Egyptian with some sort of spinal, I don't know, deformity, I guess. That's a very interesting shot. I'm gonna let you guys appreciate that for just a little bit longer. I really, personally enjoy it. She actually does look as if she's physically demented. A giant rat. Yeah, those are pretty big. That's unpleasant. Okay.
Stay away.
Who was saying that? I don't even know where you are. And you're telling me to stay away. What it essentially means is that I wouldn't have even known you were there. Unless you would Oh, here we go.
Help! Anybody!
Things are progressing. I seem to be approaching people who are in need of help.
There, please help me! Please!
To dodge, move L in the direction you want to go. This is, yeah. I don't know what I would have done without this information. So essentially they're saying if you want to get out of the way of an attack, you need to get out of the way of it. Which is excellent. Anyway, press B, yes. I understand the thrust of what they were trying to get across, but you know. Doing this with this controller just feels really weird. I can't believe I'm even using this controller. It's rather bizarre. Get out of here. Person. The game seems to be running at 60 FPS. Oh, come on! I was about to engage in combat! There's a time and place. Hold on. I'm really confused because I've got this guy's conversation, and I've got something written on the right side which I'm covering. I don't know which side of the screen I should be on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shift myself to the other side. Essentially, I've picked up armor, and I'm being informed as to what's going on with the armor system. Oh, I'm being cut off. Hold on, let me fix that. What the fuck? This is far beneath my standard. Far below my standard. There we go, that's a little bit better. Ugh. Okay. So, let's read this. You have acquired armor. Like weapons, armor is equipped from the inventory screen, under armor. Really? This is actually a little embarrassing. You have to understand that a good tutorial doesn't mean that it's so thorough that it's insulting to the people who play it. I mean, armor is equipped from the inventory screen under armor. As if I would see armor in the inventory screen and be unsure as to what it related to. It's absurd. What happened to me? I'm not dead. Oh yes, I remember. I actually do like the way that they do this dialogue selection. The way they make use of the analog stick here. It's creative. There you go, there's something about the game that I consider to be decent. I guess what happened to me would be the more natural thing to say.
You died. I don't know how or even where, but your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
I unfortunately did not pay any attention to that. It's not because the story is necessarily bad, it's just... I don't know. I think the entire thing was introduced poorly, so it didn't capture my interest at the very beginning. I think the standard for any story is to at the very least capture interest at the beginning. If you fail to do that, then who gives a damn? You're just going to go through the whole thing without actually paying attention. At least that's how it is for me. Who is Hughes? Who are these attackers? And I have some questions myself. So essentially, instead of asking the questions, you're just going to say that you have questions to ask, which is actually going to achieve precisely nothing. I'm going to at least ask some question, so that I can... See, why can't I ask both, really? Unless that's supposed to be the both option. It's just confusing, because it's not like you do end up asking the questions by... Or perhaps you don't. I'm just going to do that. Maybe she does ask both questions. Oh, okay, so no, it's actually a way of glossing over the story detail. Who the fuck is Hughes? He doesn't have a very intimidating name. Where is... Oh, I can ask where he is. That's good. I don't need to know who he is, just where he is, I suppose. This crap is in the way of the subtitles. Oh, here we go. Attackers, death, Well of Souls.
Let me get this door, and we can be on our way.
Well, see, he has gone and run off in... Right this way you go first. I'm quite sure that I was in combat. Maybe it was him who was running towards me. I actually genuinely thought that it was someone running towards me with the intent to kill, but it was actually someone who, I don't know, is a friend? Someone who is going to progress the story? Or allow me to progress in the story. I've been told to lead the way, presumably in this direction. Here's a chest. What's in here? Old boots. This is becoming very... Excuse me, underwhelming. Well, apparently, worn is better than ragged. Fair enough. I'm already making progress with my armor set. Only just began. Hold on. Consumables. Minor healing potion. Okay. It also struck me as surprising, again, when I found out that this was a well-celebrated game about 3 years ago. 4 years ago, to be honest. It struck me as surprising that it was so well known. And I say this because I played it on my own, I knew no one else who played it, and nobody ever mentioned it. Until literally like 4 years ago when I was playing Monster Hunter World, and it was bizarre.
This is what they're after. Our greatest invention.
I suppose my focus on very good games essentially put me in a special category, which could perhaps be described as under a rock. Here we go. Oh, never mind, I thought it was some big green monster out to attack me. That looks like a bleeding torso. Okay. I'm more concerned with what was on the ground. That seemed to be the entire... Okay, it's just a guy who's been terribly wounded for a second. I thought they were giving me a prompt to talk to him. Could you imagine? How about the lady in the water? It is a lady, isn't it? No, it's a... I don't know. Well, it's bald. Probably is. Can I talk to you as well? Are you doing alright? Reminds me of that scene from some game. Don't even know which game it was. A guy got fucking impaled and... like, completely destroyed, eviscerated, and the main character kneels down and says, "Are you okay?" Mate? He's probably dead. Anyway. I wish I knew what game that was. You guys probably know what game that was. There's a lot of noises going on. I don't think the game's too loud, is it? Seems fine. If the game does seem a little too loud, again, let me know. Can't make any fucking changes when the live stream's over. So I need to know now.
In one of the storerooms. See if you can find anything useful.
Okay. I haven't actually been checking the map at all. I should be doing that. Not manually from the inventory screen, but rather the minimap. Need to be paying more attention to it. And I also apparently need to be attacking objects in the area. Okay, loot the chest, and we've got flimsy greaves. Well, the fact that they're called greaves would suggest that they're more along the lines of armor, which is good. Here we go, 5 defense. Oh, and I see we've got a durability indicator as well. So we've got +5 critical hit damage, and then +5 melee block efficacy. Now this is interesting, because I don't think melee block is all that relevant, unless you can block without a shield. I don't know. I don't remember this game at all. But on the face of it, it seems like the critical hit damage being boosted by 5% would be more useful than an increase of 2 units of defense. Did I just junked that fucking thing. I don't know, the last game I was playing on a controller... Well, no, that's not really true. One of the recent games that I've been playing is... Don't fucking... What are you doing? Fucking press the middle button. You know, when you press the middle Xbox button by mistake. I just did that on the Logitech PC controller. Anyway, I just added it to my junk accidentally because I'm used to the back button being triangle. Junk, here we go. Remove from junk. Thank you. Jeez, I'm glad that they give you the option to, you know, confirm that you actually want to remove something. Got lockpicks there. Alright. Game sound seems fine. That is encouraging to hear. Alright. I think that we have an armory. A weapon rack, rather. Surely not. Surely you're not just going to allow me to take one shield and nothing else. Look at this thing! They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to put an entire weapon rack in front of us for us to be able to loot a shield. They could have had the shield sitting there on its own, and then we would go there and loot it. That's natural, but instead we're sitting here going, well, why can't I take any of this other stuff? It's stupid. I mean, that's not even the only shield there. There's another one in the corner. We've got spears, there's shields up there as well, there's big broadswords. I mean, that's like a claymore-sized fucking sword going on there. Bows. No, fuck that. Oh, what's that sound effect? That was awful. Hello. Yes, pull and hold. I've never heard... I guess technically if it's a trigger you do pull it, don't you? But it still feels weird to say pull. LT to block enemy attacks, I understand. So, the question is, can that be done without a shield, or does having a shield simply make that more effective? I don't really know. If this game released 5 years earlier, perhaps more people would have liked it, yeah. I suppose, yeah, the graphics would have been a little advanced, I think, for the modern consoles of the time, but yeah, even if you dialed back the graphics just a little bit. Well, I don't know, let's look at the first Witcher game. I'm trying to remember how The Witcher looked compared to this. Because that released in 2007, and I think it looked about as good as this. Unfortunately, my memory is too vague, and I haven't played enough different video games to be able to concretely determine if this game had acceptable graphics by 2007 standards, but anyway, or rather, whether it was exceptionally good, or just good. for those standards, sorry. I need to remember the buttons that I need to press. I'm essentially taking no damage right now, so...
That sword. That one had a bow. Get it?
Well, yeah, I do think the first Witcher looked a bit worse than this. And I think that was probably pretty good for the time, wasn't it? So, yeah, if this had come out 5 years earlier looking like this, I suppose the uptake would have been pretty significant. And the appreciation may have been better too. So apparently we can have a longbow equipped as a secondary weapon. It's got 11 damage. And you know what? I'm a bit of a bow fan. So I'm probably going to try and use it. We can equip a shield if we would like to. Don't really know if we should or not. Has that shield become my secondary? No, that's still equipped apparently. Excuse me, apparently. Alright, no, not the item radial. I hate item radials. They can fuck off. And we all know to what I'm referring to when I say that. This is a really big shield. Look at the size of it. The first shield we get in the game, and it looks fairly hefty. Fairly effective. You can see that there is an arrow, or arrow and quiver indicator beneath our health and magic. Or mana, whatever they're calling it in this game. Okay, Y is for the secondary weapon. Whoa, okay. That is the ultimate in auto-targeting, to be honest. I only held to charge my bow because I play Monster Hunter, I have to tell you. Anyway. God, that was like the ultimate auto-targeting system. Is it because I pressed Y to bring out the... Well, how many arrows do I even have? I feel like I shot something and the guy's like, why'd you break that? That's what it looked like there. Anyway. Is the bow so streamlined that there is no concept of consumable arrows? I think that's what's going on. I have not been given arrows. It does seem that I have a quiver and arrow indicator, but I don't know how that works. It doesn't seem that arrows are actually an item that I possess, so does it have a cooldown? I don't understand. Anyway, someone's going to tell me, well, Doomlink, it's not like you have a limited number of arrows in Monster Hunter. You're technically right, but let's not start comparing Monster Hunter to this game in terms of game mechanics. I think that would be a very poor decision. Fable 2, I can't even remember what that looked like. I remember the first Fable, but I don't know how Fable 2 looked like. Anyway. To unleash a powerful ranged shot. Oh, I understand. So, how do we change targets? Can we change targets? Oh, that's really awkward. That's like a reverse claw. Very interesting. Here we go. Tuatha Soldier. Take that. Oh. Seems that I can reposition. Says the Tuatha Soldier. He's got a tail. At least it looks like he does. What's going on? I suppose it's just his waist armor. It protects his ass crack. It can also be folded in and inserted. But that's only for wild knights. Alright. Loot Tuatha Soldier. Rusty leg plates, honestly. But again, because it sounds more like actual armor, it's obviously better for defense than, say, worn leggings. Leggings or leg plates? It's quite obvious as to which one's going to offer more defense. But as you can see, it's not all about the defense. At this stage, I would actually prefer critical hit damage increases. They're giving you the opportunity... Okay, look, the game's not horrendous. They're giving you the opportunity in the early game to choose what you would prefer. Defense or, I guess, damage output. What are you going to prioritize? That's a nice thing, I suppose. They're not doing a terrible job in that regard. You know, it's not exceptional or anything, it's just, I guess, a little more than what I was expecting of the game. Again, we must understand that when this came out, I was heavily obsessed with Dark Souls, and I was probably quite unfairly comparing this game's game mechanics to Dark Souls. Stop pressing the wrong button. There's no time to be looting treasure! Well, you're not getting any of it, mate. Not a fucking coin out of me. See these 12? You're not getting any of it. It just said that I received 39 gold, even though I'm quite sure I read the number 12. There's nothing about the number 12 that looks like the number 36. So, I don't know, I might be going crazy. That looked like a cave entrance.
You catch an enemy unaware. Their speed more than makes up for their size.
Well, actually, daggers are deadly. Regardless, if I stuck a dagger in you, it wouldn't matter if you were aware of it or not. You'd probably be bleeding profusely. What the fuck is that? That is a person who has been stuck into the wall. What is that? Hold on. Looks like the end of the blade isn't even sharp. Am I looking at this correctly? I don't know, I'm not going to try and interpret it. Picked up daggers. Anyway, I can't speak apparently. Alright, crude iron daggers. What do I prefer at this stage? Probably the daggers. Yeah, I'm more interested in the daggers. Let's give them a try anyway. We're going to find out which one we prefer. You know what I do remember about this game? The chakrams are pretty cool. I think chakrams are interesting. But anyway. There are a few weapon types, you know. This game is peak game mechanics, as in, this is the peak of the developer's ability to make game mechanics. I see. Well, that's the way it should be, you know, you have to be at absolute maximum output, don't you, if you're going to make a video game. You can't be holding yourself back. This is big, huge games. I mean, that spells ambition. Big, huge games. Big, huge fucking ability to make a video game. Well, I don't actually have any hand armor equipped, if that makes any sense. Hand armor? Maybe armor? Oh, hold on, faultless one. Oh, faithless one. I was going to say faultless one. Take it easy. I only just started the game. That's blowing a little bit too much steam up my arse, you know. Maybe steam being blown up my arse wouldn't be quite so encouraging in actual fact.
If you can sneak up on them with your daggers, you should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
Well, you know, you could have actually whispered to me in a way that was less forceful. If you were to whisper to me, perhaps in a way that didn't have these sharp fucking spikes of volume. There is a word that I'm looking for that I couldn't find, and I went with spikes of volume. But anyway, you understand what I mean. When you're going like this, it's probably going to be hurt by someone. And it's like, fucking Christ. Why even whisper? We are entering stealth mode, RB. Oh god. Is it Elder Scrolls now? Did they have that eye icon in Oblivion? I can't remember now. It's been so long since I played Oblivion. Anyway. This game's just like Skyrim. In fact, I was comparing this game to Skyrim, and I prefer Skyrim. Press X, yeah. There you go. I mean, one would compare it to Skyrim, wouldn't they? It was the toast of the town, and let me tell you, it had only been about a year since it had released, and it was a fucking good game. What are you guys doing? Oh, that's right, I was being stealth. You speak to me with that tone one more time and your head is going to be rolling. Rolling. Like literally, I could snap your neck with one hand as if it were made of spaghetti. That's how fucking small you are. Look at you. Well, I suppose he can be small, but he can still be sturdy. Maybe he's got a very thick neck. I'm not interested in the... Oh. Apparently someone's a pathetic creature. I'm going to use my archery, I'm not doing this stealth. Or maybe I'm going to be punished for not using stealth. No, actually, they're not that strong. It seems that the nature of... Oh, for goodness sake, get the radial menu out of here. How's the shielding? Oh, I see, there is actually a cooldown for arrows, I was right. Oh, here we go. This is how daggers work. Oh, that's right. B is the fucking evasion button. What have we got? There you go. Oh, yeah. I suppose it's just as hack and slashy as anything else. Just looks a little different. I need to actually get used to moving the camera manually. As I said, when the camera does do things on its own, it almost encourages you to not use the camera. Let me tell you why. It's because I've played plenty of early 3D games where you can't control the fucking camera. And now that I think about it, I was playing Lament of Innocence before, and I don't think you can control the camera in that game, so that would be part of the reason why I'm just not being as interactive with my camera. If I do accidentally shoot an arrow, it's not a problem, to be honest. As we know. Oh, this is pointless.
Cave blossoms only respond in the presence of magic. Perhaps there is more to you than it seems.
Speak for yourself. I feel quite gifted. Wow. Apparently the lead game designer was talking about turning this into a franchise before it had even come out. Well, there you go. Big, huge ambition, as I said. Pull and hold RT to access your abilities. Then press X to use your Stormbolt ability. So what you're telling me is that the mere insinuation from this random guy, whom we don't even know, was enough for us to be able to just use Stormbolt. Oh yeah, magic. Stormbolt! That's a thing, yeah. Hold on. Pull and hold RT. Oh, I see. Stormbolt. Oh yeah, how about that?
What are you?
What are you? Fuck if I know. I think, you know, maybe if the story had been told a little better, I'd be better placed to make an assumption or a guess. Per your request... Oh, this is addressed to Hughes. As per your requests, we've finally got the spider problem under control. Claude will try to take credit for an efficient cleansing with his Praetorians? I don't know if it's Praetorians or Praetorians, but anyway. But I feel he overstates his case and fails to recognize the value that my own quick thinking and scholarly work provided to this successful operation. While overseeing the spider purge, I noticed that those guards who were affected by spider venom exhibited stiffness of joints and tightening of skin, symptoms which suggest a possible solution for the internal cohesion problems of some of the Well's creations. I would have It's boring, isn't it? It's really fucking boring, isn't it? I'm going to keep going, you have to listen to this. I would have studied these symptoms in more depth at the time, but the guards willfully and flagrantly disobeyed my orders to delay application of antitoxins. Wake me up when it's over. As such, I request that we capture some of these spiders in order to harvest their venom for future testing. Furthermore, I trust that these insubordinate guards will be punished immediately. For my steadfast pursuit of knowledge, I require no medal nor promotion. All I would ask is that you please reassign me off this subject disposal detail. Off of subject disposal detail, sorry. I misread because I was so taken by his humble method of anyway. Yes, by his humbleness. Now, I don't actually know any of what that was, or what it meant, or what significance it had, but it was addressed to Hughes, and we are apparently looking for Hughes. I can't remember what we're supposed to do to him, or with him, or... I don't even know my head from my arsehole at this point. All I know is that I'm playing a video game, and we're just going to keep going in that direction. Oh, here we go. Spiders. That's the relevance of that. There's a spider problem. We were killing giant rats before. It seems they've got giant spiders as well. Is that venom? Probably, but it doesn't have some sort of venomous effect. What have we got? Pick up staff. Here we go. We've got a staff. We're immediately changing weapons to the... Oh, for God's sake. I remember this about this game. There's always something new in this menu. Always. You have to go and check what it is. Actually, to be honest, it's a good thing because you don't end up looting things that you completely forget about. At least when you're prompted to check what they are, it embeds it in your mind a little bit, you can actually possibly recall it in the moment when you need it. Not a bad game design decision, to be honest. I will give credit where it is due. I can wear robes, apparently. I wasn't wearing robes before. Oh, it seems it has replaced my chest piece. Okay. Let's compare the stats. 30% mana regen per second. Well, that's obviously significant. And the defense is better too. To be honest, I think the critical hit damage would be the only thing that would have me equip something different to this. But I have a feeling I'm going to be using magic, so let's go and equip that staff, shall we? Crude birch staff. Oh yes, I remember this. This is going to summon fire all over the place. Or conjure fire. Yes, I remember this. Staves are interesting. I think they're... Now, you know what? I'm starting to appreciate the value of this game. It's not horrendous, it's entertaining. I suppose there's a lot of good potential here that they could have done more with, but that's alright. I suppose it has its place, doesn't it? Hold on. Ugh, I'm getting just endless prompts to talk to Ensel. Getting sick of it. Yeah, there's another word that's rather close to Ensel that I'm not going to use as a joke because it's too much of a low-hanging fruit, but anyway. I'm sure I'd be able to work it into some kind of joke that was only partially funny. What's going on with you? See, why can't I pick this up? Don't fucking show it if I can't interact with it. Assholes. Honestly, have some respect. You're taunting me, you know it. Alright. We shall progress further towards Hughes. That is our current objective. You know, there may actually be some interesting insight into what we're supposed to do. Turns out there isn't. Oh, we are trying to escape this place, apparently. We're not just looking for Hughes, we're trying to escape this place. Which sounds like a good plan to me. There's another person who's been attached to the wall, unless... Oh, please don't tell me I've gone in a circle. Have I gone in a circle? Yes, I think I've been here. This is... Yep, I have been here, most certainly. Okay. Wait, did I go up here before? It's map time. It is fucking map time. That is the direction in which I want to go. God, everything looks the same. Maybe it was obvious that I was going in the wrong direction. I don't know. What I can say is that I had no idea. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this door over here. Oh, apparently I already opened it, and I completely forgot that I had opened it. Okay, I understand what happened. I must have been walking up... If the game could respond, please. What is going on? Why does my character refuse to move? Oh, I accidentally hit the mode button on my controller. What that does, I have no idea, but apparently it prevents me from actually moving my character. Which is extremely helpful. Thank you, controller, for having a button that may get me killed one day. In fact, I would guarantee that it will. I bet my fire staff can melt the spider webs. Apparently not. Some pretty sturdy web. There's a chest here. Loot chest. Worn hand wraps. I'm getting so many armor pieces I just don't know what to do with them anymore. What have we got here? Okay, I can't really pass up on that. Now let's have a look at the mana consumption here. There is no mana consumption. The use of this staff seems to be totally unrelated to our mana, so I guess all that's going to do, in actual fact, hold on, this is what we want. That is our mana consumption. So that's a little bit more than a third, or perhaps about a third of our mana with one attack. Regeneration seems good at the moment. think I'm happy to keep with that. Which is to say that if I'm offered further or more mana regenerating armor pieces, I'm probably going to pass up on them, or pass on them. Oh, now I can break through the bloody web. But yes, I will pass on them, so that that guy behind me, burn them! Yes, I'm going to prioritize defense. Sorry, I can't fucking speak today. It's one of those days. I got a critical attack by the looks of it. I believe that was my first critical attack. If it seems as if I'm playing terribly, it's because I just don't know what I'm doing, okay? I will get better, most assuredly. I'm also barely paying attention. What have we got? Loot spider sack, yeah. Got some old shoes and a skull. Okay. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to take this crap. Compare, what have we got? Oh. No. Oh, I took it anyway. Well. Fine, I'll take everything. Is there a downside to just looting literally everything? There is no weight associated with these materials, and it doesn't... Oh no, I do have an inventory limit. I can only carry 70 types of things. Presumably stacks do not relate to that inventory limit. So what that means is that I shouldn't just take random junk. But I think in the early game it is a good idea to take things that may appear to be random junk, because if you actually don't take your random junk, you may not be able to progress to the next level of, I don't know, item crafting or equipment crafting, for example. So it's probably a bad idea to pass up on things in the early game. Now, one thing I did want to check, because it seems that I'm not actually wearing... Oh, old shoes, I see. Oh, that is for the mana regen. Okay. Does this replace the leg plates? No, it doesn't. For some reason I didn't have anything equipped here. Oh no, never mind. No, I didn't intend for that. I didn't want to go all in and literally strip her. Let's re-equip these robes. It seems that the equipping of these torn robes, interestingly enough, while it does appear to be a defense bonus, is simply high in defense to make up for the fact that you're unequipping your leggings as well. Very well. I think that's fair enough. Let's make sure that we're progressing in the correct direction this time. We want to go south, presumably. We shall do just that. I don't like this camera. No, stop it! For goodness sake. Let's get in there. Let's start playing the game properly. Yeah, that's some good button mashing. Some good B button pressing. Yeah. I'm beginning to improve slowly but surely. Oh, look at him get in there. Doubling down on his... or rather vulnerability period. Alright. All spiders are female, Doomlink. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. No, I just came from there. Stop this. Shut up! Yes, skip with X and then B for goodbye. Make that a permanent goodbye and do us all a fucking favour. I'm sick of talking to him. He has a bit of attitude too, doesn't he? He really doesn't know who he's dealing with. I'm not talking about my character, I'm talking about me. My sheer willingness and, quite frankly, deep desire to toast your fucking cranium is starting to overcome. Are you a friendly person? You seem to be. You people are conducting a conversation.
She came out of the well.
What? Then she better get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those twatha make another push.
This is where we part ways.
Oh, thank God.
Want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get your shoes. We can hold off the Tuatha here.
Okay. I need more help. They actually think that I want to talk to this guy even more than I already have. I can fight with you. Are they literally... Where is Hughes? Is this my option to not play with this guy anymore. Look, I think for story reasons, I should attempt to convince him. I've got 95% chance. I have a 95% chance to succeed. But I also don't want to lie, so I will say I can fight with you.
Can't risk you getting killed. You're proof that the well can work. Don't you realize what that means? Just keep going past the top of the well. Hughes will be there in his study. I'll see you on the outside.
More than a third of your face is taken up by your nose. Anyway, there is a chest, which is no doubt some form of reward for my efforts.
Nothing protects quite like layers of impervious metal.
Nothing protects quite like layers of impervious metal. Yes, I think the word impervious might be the key phrase or term that would suggest that nothing protects quite like it. Anyway. Of course, he doesn't literally mean impervious, he just means resistant. If it were impervious, I'd have no fucking reason to even get armor past this point. All I would have to do would be to find the guy who said it, put this stuff in their fucking face, and force them to give me the so-called impervious armor.
We'll give you the speed to reach an enemy's boat.
Okay, primary. We got more crude iron daggers, which presumably can be used to acquire funds in the future. I'm guessing there is a selling system in this game. I do have to say though, I basically haven't lost any health. This is not going to be one of those games where I'm going to be aggressively destroyed by the enemies. Maybe I should have selected hard as a difficulty level. I was saying earlier on that I wanted to enjoy the features of the game. What I meant by that is that if you're basically bending over backwards to even make minor progress in the game, you're not going to be able to appreciate some things. But this is not one of those games where selecting hard is going to bend me over backwards, so maybe I really should see if I can change that. Options. None of this is interesting to me. Connect to EA account. Already did that. I had no choice but to do that. It's a fucking offline game. And I had to connect my EA account to this. It's EA, what can I say? They're probably harvesting data from my gameplay. By the looks of it, I have made my decision to play at normal difficulty and I'm going to have to live with it. What is destinies? I have multiple destinies to choose from? Jeez, this game's a little bit too realistic. Alright. Is there any more treasure to loot in this area?
You come out of the well and the twather show up. That can't be a coincidence.
Well, aren't you talkative?
If you can walk, you don't need my
I'm just going to throw myself into the fire. Is this going to hurt me at all? No. There's no jump button. I feel like there should be one, but if there isn't, then that's fine. I'm not upset. Alright. I don't know why, but I just feel like having a jump button is natural in games like these, but it's probably a good thing to not have it. Maybe not. Maybe it means that traversing a location is going to be a little more, I don't know, simplistic. I don't want to go in there. I feel like something's going to happen if I go in there. It turns out that I can't go in there. Oh, I know what that is. And here is a person who has been subjected to the horrors of this torture device. He's clutching at his rib cage. Can't quite get a good look at it. Doesn't look like he's had a good time. Not at all. Seems to be there seems to be a crystal ball over there. Maybe it relates to the Destinies option in the inventory screen. Perhaps not. I think I can hear people screaming, but I can't see the people screaming. It's the ambiance of the ah! Yeah. It's really getting me in the mood. Let's go to the laboratory. We are at our next location. Possibly a magic-related place. It's usually how it is in games like these, would you not say? Stereotypical dwarf alert.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me.
Who are you again?
Terribly confused by all of this.
Yes.
I am Fomerus.
Also, you're Hughes. We're not seeking you out to kill you, but rather to, I don't know, talk to you
One thing, the well
and enjoy some exposition.
the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success.
Oh,
If we only had the time. There's so much we might learn from one another.
what's going on? That's an entirely appropriate question to be asking.
I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's
Presumably, lines of inquiry highlighted in blue
achieved here?
are designed to further the story.
Well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe.
Here we go, I've got a few options now. It seems that none of them are required, it's just a free choice. I've got more questions. Let's get out of here. I'll stay and fight. Let's get out of here, is that the sentiment that I've been hearing?
I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe.
No, I wasn't.
You're
Okay, well, what have I done?
simply astounding.
Was I supposed to stay and fight? I'm not paying attention.
Somehow.
Oh, apparently we're going to be forced to do what the game wants us to do. That's fine. I don't want to make the wrong decision.
Sir, Mr. Hughes, the Tuatha have reached the lab.
You know, I was enjoying not seeing you. Oh, he's dead. Well, I'm enjoying this. Very good.
We've got to get you out of here now, quickly.
My character is concerned. Let her express her concern. Oh,
Follow
okay.
the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agath. He's a friend.
I forgot that guy died, to be honest.
No matter what else, stay alive.
Yeah. Look at him go. Oh, these guys are useless. They literally just stood there and like, oh, this guy's pretty small. Oh, he just cut me in my groin and in my thigh and God, I suck. I don't know. That was the impression that I got from that moment. Apparently I can't progress in that direction. Oh, it's this guy. Hold on. This is the sort of opportunity that I can't pass up. No. Not quite there. This building may be crumbling around me, but I do have my priorities. Yeah. That is precisely what I should be doing in this moment. This is actually teabagging. I'm essentially rubbing my minge on his nape, which is probably to some humorous and to others intensely erotic. I'm now going to move on. I need to see where the hell I'm going. I'm going in this direction, apparently. Yet stop it. Oh, there's part of this room that I haven't explored. Hold on. Oh no, I can't go over there. Forbidden experiments exist in that direction. Well, apparently I run permanently if I hold the A button and then just keep moving in whatever direction I happen to be moving in. Oh yes, I will be playing until I finish the game. That was my full intention. I wasn't just playing it once and then, oh, I've done it now, I can move on with my life. No, I will be finishing it. Maybe I should have made that clear. The actual title will be Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning Livestream Playthrough. That is not the title of this livestream, so I understand your confusion. What's happening with you? I'm quite sure that I had an enemy marker there. Yeah, I did. I was so taken aback by the fact that you didn't notice me there, despite the fact that I A, did not sneak, and B, I was physically touching you with my body, that I thought that you may have actually been a friend rather than a foe. It seems that there is a burning thing going on, which is to say that when I cast fire upon my enemies, they do burn and lose health over time. DOT effect, as they say. Imagine saying DOT instead of actually speaking English. I have a preference for speaking. That's just me being as transparent and candid as possible. Got another healing potion. I was even healed before. I mean, you've given me so many healing potions. Is this game balanced for people who stand still for the first 20 seconds of every single confrontation and then fight the enemy? Because that's how it feels. I can't believe they even gave me my health back. That's insane. Did they think that we needed that sort of help? I remember you. You're on the loading screen. Or not the loading screen, the title screen. I just took a good hit. Because I can't play the game properly, apparently. Oh, he resisted! He's actually quite resistant to fire, so we had best change to crude iron daggers. I almost added that to junk, but I guess you can't add something you have equipped to junk. Just gonna see this. Okay, lockpicks. I've yet to need a lockpick, actually. We're going to swap our armor around, because that would be kind of stupid to continue using the robes from before. Let's now choose... Oh, I don't know. Old boots, maybe? Worn leggings, here we go. Oh no, I do realise that that may have been a lovely view, but... It says, shit, I did it again! I keep pressing triangle, or Y in this case. Junk. I just love that button. Destroy all. I'm quite tempted. Quite tempted to take you up on that offer. Whoa, you've got a ranged attack. Whoa, and it even goes in slow motion, that's exciting. Oh, I may have a blocking ability to it. Stop it. Does the timing of my block actually affect anything? Oh, you got a bit of damage off there. Alright, how about I take the fight a little seriously? Do have a running button as well. These guys have a decent amount, or I was about to say that they had a decent amount of health. Something that I was intending on saying before, but I'm not entirely sure if I ended up explaining it in full, was that the enemies lose their health bars much slower when they are closer to full. But as they start to run low, let's say after about halfway empty, the health actually begins to decrease much faster. So what it means, essentially, is that the enemy appears as if they have more health than they actually do when you begin attacking them. Are you seeing this? I'm actually being encouraged to just stand here and keep pressing the attack buttons until he dies. Oh god, your ranged attack is just too hot to handle. This enemy is called a rock troll, just in case you didn't already know that. I can press A and oh, I'm magical. X, oh look out, whoa! Give me more experience, I got plus 75% experience by mashing. Maybe that's a theme of the boss fights in this game. There you go. Squire's ring. What we got? Plus 5 health. I've got no ring to replace, stop it. That's 90 gold coins. What are you going to give me? 150? They're not telling me how many I picked up. You have acquired a shard. Wow. Where is it? You're fucking lying to me. Wherever this shard is... Oh, I see. I have 10 fingers, but I can only equip 2 rings. Okay. Well, I suppose they're only... Maybe they're a specific size. You can only put them on your ring finger. They're too big or too small, depending on which ring, or rather which finger you're going to put them on outside of the ring finger. We'll go with that logic, shall we? Hold on. Our point of progression is over here. Quite frankly, that arrow is far too small. I mean, I would work out that that was where I was supposed to go before I would notice that an arrow was there. Especially considering that that door is already lit. I mean, to be honest, it's not all that visible. Anyway, doesn't matter. Maybe I shouldn't be complaining about the game not being... the game's not coddling me enough. Whoa! Okay, what's happening? The door just suddenly broke for no apparent reason. We were just in there, and it was very calm. Very calm. Nothing really going on in particular, and then we walk out and it's like... literally pandemonium. The fucking internal structure of the building has completely it collapsed in on itself and has burst through the fucking doors that we just passed through. And there's someone in a very poor condition. And he also happens to be a dwarf. Good for him. Alright. Okay, that's great, thank you. And I got an achievement. Reborn, yes. And I leveled up, apparently. Gohart has been added to something. Oh, quests. Okay. No, that's not what's happening, unless you're saying... Well, whatever, that's a completed quest, great. I may seek to 100% this game, we'll see how things go. Oh, I sort of remember this leveling up system. Okay, how does this work? I guess... Oh yes, I do have a point bonus in blacksmithing and persuasion, perhaps alchemy as well. That's why these are already lit. Alright, so what is the blacksmithing path going to do for us? You can harvest components from some enemies in the world. Increases the effectiveness of repair kits. You can use 3 components when crafting equipment. You can salvage infrequent equipment. Okay. So you're saying that you can salvage it. Whereas previously it would have been impossible. You can use 4 components when crafting equipment. How many points? Oh, I have only 1 point to give. Well, let's just see if it might not be ideal to at least get a basic level in one of these first. Why do some of these have symbols and others don't? Oh, it's considered a milestone, okay. Oh, milestones give substantive effects, whereas non-milestones are just sort of a form of linear progression without a particular effect being introduced, okay. None of these seem essential. A negative 5% sight range, sorry, on unaware NPCs while in stealth. To be honest, I was physically touching a guy without even being in stealth mode, so quite frankly, I don't know how important this is. Obviously, he was a basic enemy in the starting area of the game, so perhaps they will become more aware in future, but while stealth is interesting, I don't know if I'm going to engage with it. Maybe I should. Maybe it would make the game more fun if I were to do that. But I don't think it's something I'll prioritize right now. I think my blacksmithing should be my first port of call. Let's confirm that. Oh, here we go. We've apparently... Oh, I understand. It's very interesting. We've got sorcery, might, and finesse. Geez, you know what? This game's not as bad as I thought. I apologize. This is all right. Jeez. What do I want to focus on? I haven't really decided yet, have I? Well, what links to... What I would imagine, let's say chakrams, for example. I mentioned them before. Perhaps they're actually a branch of one of these. And I'd like to know which one of these might affect it, unless... What I would assume is that I've got 3 points to allocate across sorcery, might, and finesse. I'm going to do this in a moment. I'm going to first and foremost, for my benefit, visit the bathroom. I'll be back in a moment. Oh, damn it. Why is my webcam like this? I must have briefly disconnected it. No, I have not ascended to some form of human who can... Well, I suppose the term is ventriloquist, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Sorry, need to make adjustments to my webcam. This... Shit! I hit deactivate. Fuck. This is extremely frustrating. Alright. Hurry up and fix it. Fuck. Here we go. That should be fine. Okay. Now, anyway, I was meaning to get straight back into the subject that I had left off on as soon as I got in here, but then my webcam was having issues. When I say that this game is not as bad as I thought, that is not me singing this game's praises. What it is my expectations were so low that I'm actually impressed when I see things like this. Seriously. I'm left impressed. I thought there was nothing like this. I thought it was really basic. I couldn't remember. It's been so long since I've played. But yeah, this is the reality of expectations. If you set your expectations too high, it's going to be very hard for the game to meet them, and you may end up not enjoying yourself so much. But if your expectations are bottom of the barrel, like rock bottom, you're actually going to appreciate things like this. So it is a good thing. Am I going to enjoy playing this game? I think so. I think so. Let's get me old controller. Damn it, my brandy is quite far away. How long have I been live for? That is the question I'm about to find out. I've been live for 1 hour and 33 minutes. We're beginning the next stage of the game, but that's alright. Let's have a look and see. I can actually play with mouse and keyboard. There's, like, obviously full mouse and keyboard support here, but I'm not going to bother with that. Alright. Just because it's confusing. If you... Look, games that only partially support controllers do bother me, because generally, if you're using a controller, you are completely committed to that. And when you have to suddenly use your mouse when you have your controller in your hands, it's awkward. You have to move your hand when it feels like you shouldn't need to. It feels like you should keep it on your controller at all times. I guess that's how it feels from the perspective of a console player, which I originally was. But anyway. This, however, is extremely awkward. I don't even... How the fuck am I supposed to get to... You know what's going on, don't you? What the fuck? That was really confusing. I don't like that you can't. You know what it should do? Listen, I'm only pressing right on the D-pad as this happens. Why does it skip that? Okay, now come on. Just as I was praising this game at least slightly, they pull this on me. I'm pressing right on the D-pad. It has skipped 2 branches of this, I don't know, stat, increase tree, I don't know what I'm even saying. There is terminology appropriate for this, but I'm being an absolute buffoon. Essentially, it should go this, then this, then this, then this, and then this. It's quite simple, but apparently that's just a totally unreasonable request. Here is our chakrams, which means that we need to actually increase scepter. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I understand. It requires 5 points in sorcery. I thought that it was actually carrying on from scepter, but that's not true. Look, I do enjoy chakrams, and I think I will use them. I hope they're not overused. You know, my concern is that I'll end up using something that a lot of other people use, and I would have no way of knowing that, because I've never seen anyone else play this game. I didn't know anyone who played this game. I have zero contact with the community, so I'm worried that I'm going to use something basic, something that everyone else uses. So if you know a lot of people to use chakrams, like a lot of people, I will use something different. Not because I want to be unique. I'm not desperate to be a unique individual. What I want is to give you gameplay that's not boring. I want to have something a little different from the norm for the sake of entertainment. Whereas if it's just, oh, it's just another Chakram playthrough, you may be less inclined to watch it if you actually are a fan of the game, but aren't so sensitive that you would be offended by things that I say about it. But, yeah, to be honest, I think I will increase staff mastery to start with. Can I increase the mastery of this? Just, that is one thing that I would like to work out. My brandy is so far away. I'll just pass on the brandy, forget it. I've only got another 20 minutes left of this recording. Actually, no. I've changed my mind. How could I pass on the brandy, really? My setup is so awkward. You know, the things that I do. Goodness me. Metaxa. 5-star. No, that's not the best one. It's not like there's a Metaxa 3-star. That's the first one. I think it's 5, 7, and 12. If I recall correctly. I've got some Metaxa 12-star glasses, actually, but I don't like them because they're really basic in their design. Very standard circular glasses. Ugh. Or perhaps we'll say cylindrical. I think cylindrical is the word that we want, Doomlink. It does happen to be a 3-dimensional object. Okay. Let's pour some brandy and then make a decision on what we are leveling up. I will actually check might and finesse as well, because I want to make an informed decision with my first 3 points in the game. And an informed decision means actually checking to see what one's options are. Alright. Cheers. Controller. There's my controller. Let's have a look at might. So what's this ability here? Harpoon. It seems to be an actual ability. Snag an enemy and pull it back to you may have the opposite effect with large or larger enemies. The next level allows you to pull... Oh, well, this seems to be... Is this an ability? No, it's level 0 of 4, except it's active? If they're saying that it's active, one can only assume that it is an ability that I possess, but I don't know how to actually perform it. Next level, which can only mean that we've already got this ability here, so taking it from level 0 to 1 will pull enemies from 14 meters away and deal 15 physical damage and 8 piercing damage. I don't understand. It doesn't actually specify how many meters away from the enemy I can be for this to work unupgraded. One would assume that I don't have this ability because it's at level 0, but it says that it is active. Maybe it's the type of skill. Oh, it's active and passive. Whatever, Doomlink, whatever. So, presumably we actually can't use this ability right now. Do I want to be able to use this ability? I don't know. I don't think it's very interesting. It's not something that I would like to use. Is it effective? Possibly. Alright, so we've got weapon attacks. Here we go. Unlocks charged special attacks for the longsword, greatsword, and hammer. Yes. I'm going to get that. And I think I'll leave might alone for now. Here is finesse. Unlocks charged special attacks for daggers and fey blades. Don't tell me I just... never mind. Can I? Yes. I can revoke that. Allocation of points. Alright, what's the next level? Well, actually, I should look at the current effect. Reduce scepter costs to 5% of your maximum mana instead of 6%. Charged entropy. Hold and release the staff attack to damage your surrounding enemies. I see, so it's a wide area of effect attack. Maelstrom. Hold and release the chakrams to spin your weapons and hit all nearby enemies. Jeez. They get a damage over time at the next level. I will level it up again, and then I'll do Staff Mastery 1. I'm not upgrading Scepter, because I don't have a Scepter. So I think I just applied that, didn't I? I think so. Presumably I did. Upheaval, here we go. Well, that's nice that they've got a little video representation of how it works. It's certainly more than Monster Hunter ever did. They technically never did that. Or did they eventually? I don't think they did. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very interested in the direction Monster Hunter has gone in, as we all know. This is a list of abilities, and what's very important about this, obviously, is that in some cases you don't know what you can do until you do it. But here, you can actually check to see what possible moves one has. This sorcery business is unclear to me. I don't know if it's something that I want to use. It doesn't seem very exciting. It's just something that I have. I haven't worked for it, it's just there. I don't know why I would have it, yet also have the ability to shoot a bow and swing a sword and all of that. I haven't actually made a conscious decision to get sorcery. So for that reason, I don't know if I'm so interested in engaging with it. It just seems like it's tacked onto my character, like I'm some sort of, I don't know, like I'm playing a power fantasy where I can do everything. And I don't like that. I would like to focus on a particular style of play. I mean, obviously I can choose not to use it. I can level up my stats in a way that would not upgrade this at all, in a way that would leave it pretty weak for the later parts of the game, but I just don't like that it's there and available to be used in this sort of way. Because it was essentially what happened was we were forced by an event that took place in the game to equip it. In fact, I think we already had it, and then we just used it, and it was just there. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it. Hello, Monk's Owl. Or Owl. Monk's Owl, yeah. That's your name. Anyway, I think we're going to ignore sorcery. Although that may be ill-advised if we're going to go the route of sorcery. So, I don't know. We have actually selected these. Yes, we have. Just making sure. Alright, back to the game. Not for too long, because oh, I've got daggers equipped still. Okay, what's going on with you? Remy Callis. You're another dwarf.
Another survivor? But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you?
I actually don't know what happened with him. He dealt with some extremely incompetent guards, or whatever they were, enemies at least. And then he went and buggered off. No, can we bring him back?
Not without the well, we can't.
Oh, so he is dead. He must have been crushed in that building. I suppose he didn't escape.
The only one who understands how it worked.
Okay.
We should be safe here. At least a little longer.
No, I'm not going to be safe here because I'm not going to stay here. I need to progress through the game. Why do you people just sit here and let this corpse sit by this tree? It's probably starting to smell by now. No Regents found. Well, jeez. I should really check to see how quickly I can attack with these daggers, although it actually has no relevance because I'm not going to use them. We're going to switch to the crude birch staff and we are going to reorganize our armor to reflect that. I will equip... Hold on, I went past it. That's what confused me. It's the fact that we had two of these. I didn't even realize that I'd picked up another one. And then we're going to use the old shoes again. The sound effect when you're scrolling through multiple pieces of armor is just terrible. It sounds like it's an audio glitch almost. We're getting some sort of arrow marker. It's almost to suggest that we can jump off it. We can jump down. I may or may not do that. Let's harvest this first. Thirst. With a T, Doom Link. Last I checked, it had a T. Alright. Do I want to go for a swim? There seems to be something swimming around in there, but I don't know if it's benign or otherwise. Let's find out. Swim with the fishies! Oh my god, that is an incredibly docile fish. It's very big. Okay, well apparently it's not just docile, it's a figment of my imagination. I am essentially convinced that this is not real. It is a fucking holographic projection. I suppose they had other priorities. Well, there would be one thing about the game that's slightly unimpressive. Let's not forget, at the time I was comparing it to Skyrim, and Skyrim's fauna were not that great. I seem to recall rabbits running on water. I do have a distinct recollection of that. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't start casting judgments against this. The pulsing circle on your minimap indicates your quest objective. We're going to give you that information, but not give you an opportunity to remove it from your screen manually. Instead, we're going to put it on your screen for a limited period of time and then it will automatically disappear. Oh, we are looting the overturned cart. Threadbare lining, novice strings, simple bindings. Okay. There is a meat cleaver there, and a fish. Clearly, these people were startled by a rather sudden attack from someone or something. Hello. Oh yes. What are you going to do? There's water on that side, me on the other. You're in a state of severe confusion, instead going to eat precisely nothing. Unless you eat rocks, there's nothing going on in there. There's nothing going on in there. Unless you're pulling a tiny weed out from between the cracks in the rock. You are not currently grazing upon anything. Anyway, you can continue doing that. No! Sounds like an old man. Maybe I'm the one who sounds like an old man when I do that. That may sound like an animal, and then my impression of it is rather less animalistic. I hope that I'm not in the way of items acquired while gathering around. Hopefully it's above my head and not behind my head. Anyway, there's some enemies. Well, maybe not an enemy. It is an enemy, it's a bear. I'm about to save this person from a bear. I tried to press the evasion button, but it did not work. You know what probably is frequently used? The staff. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Hello.
I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here?
How did I find you here? I did not come searching for you. I'm just adventuring around. What sort of self-absorbed perspective on the world do you have? Did you know about the attack? What are you doing here? I'm just going to ask him.
I had no idea
No.
anything like that would happen. The Well of Souls is bigger than one gnome's pet project.
Oh, you're a gnome, not a dwarf, sorry.
Progress. I just send reports to make some money on the
Looks like someone's taken a bite out of your ear.
Did anyone to get hurt?
Is it the same on the other side? Is your head symmetrical? Just get out of here now. Okay. This is your fault. Time to die. Pay me and you live. Let's do it.
I don't have... Okay. Here. It's all I've got. Plus what I got paid for the information. I don't want any part of this. I'm going home.
Well, it's very good of you that you paid me. That would have been a whole ear missing. I got 104 gold for my troubles. I'm currently sitting on 424. I'm sure at some point I will be able to make use of that. For now, I will enjoy it sitting there in my inventory unused. Why am I stuck? Let's have a look at that again. What is going on? Exactly. This is my favourite game from childhood. This was my first RPG. Anyway. There's got to be some people out there who have that... What the fuck was that? That couldn't have come out of you. That sounded like a trombone. Anyway. There have to be some people out there in this world who experience this game in that sort of way. Just be quiet. You're so raucously loud and just... I don't know, you're a disturbance to this entire serene moment. This verdant, flourishing grassland area is being marred by your stupid brass instrument sounding yell that was quite frankly just honking out of you without any sort of prompting from me. Here we go, I'm in combat. Ugh. Oh, don't make your whimpering sounds. Listen, I like wolves, okay? Oh, I don't like this wolf. This wolf can fuck off. You, I'll home in on you. In short order. Get out of here. Yes, I know that you're coming for me. I'm doing the best that I can. I think the other one just fucking keeled over and died on its own. I don't think I'd killed it. A birch scepter, damn it. I had a feeling that I'd immediately pick up a scepter after opting not to level up the scepter thing. Well, how do scepters differ? Oh, it's a rather smaller thing, isn't it? I suppose a scepter is smaller than a star. Oh. Phew. Okay. Okay, that just looks a bit weird, don't you think? So essentially, scepters are staves that are ranged and that actually consume mana. So quite frankly, they do have their own place alongside a staff. You are not really inclined to use one over the other. They do have their own merits in and of themselves. Keep hearing trucks honking in the distance. Don't know what that's about. Maybe there's a truckers gathering. There's a congregation of truckers. If they could fucking do it somewhere else, that would be great. I'm sure it's not actually audible in the microphone, but it's still distracting me. Keep hearing this in the distance. I mean, fucking hell. Maybe it's in the game and I'm just wrong. Here we go. This is my first hood. Well, perhaps not my first hood, but it's the first one that I noticed having, that's for sure. This one, in fact, has a requirement to it. I don't think I have finesse, do I? Oh no, I do. What did I level up in finesse? I can't even remember now. I'm sure I did level something up in finesse. Here we go, abilities. What was it? What? Assassin's Art. Okay, apparently I have 1 in finesse and 4. I never leveled this up. Whatever. I won't question it for now. It must be related to my race. Whatever I selected at the start of the game. Alright. As you can see, I'm moving nice and slowly through this location. I'm stripping it bare. I'm sure you could be even more thorough than I have been. I remember this guy. He's got a memorable face, I don't know what it is. And he looks weird when he talks. Look at him walk! Look at him go! Did you see that? This guy doesn't even need to walk. Some of us need to actually move one foot in front of the other. This guy glides across the ground and then just uses his feet as a courtesy, almost to you know, make us feel better. Like, no, I have to walk too. That's what it's like. In actual fact, he doesn't need to do that. Bloody hell. He could just fucking float around the place. What's a Fate Weaver? That's a good question to ask. I didn't even pay attention to what he was... Oh, this is... Is it Agarth? I'm going to say Agarth. He is a Fate Weaver, and I do know that we were in search of him. He happens to be very close to where we began the next section of the game. Hughes sent me to find you.
Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
It's atrocious inventory. Do you mean the system? What is it about the inventory system that you don't like, Koroku? I'd like to hear your impression of the inventory system. What do you know about Hughes? You see, that's a little more interrogative than I think is appropriate in this moment. But I suppose it all comes down to tone of voice, doesn't it? When you just see it in writing, it sounds a little pressing. Just take it easy, you know, I mean. I suppose there are different ways to phrase it, like, are you a friend of Hughes? Are you... You know, you'd be able to get the information you're looking for without saying, what do you know about Hughes? Anyway, I'm sick. Oh wait, it's not Hughes. It's not even Hughes. I keep saying Hughes because I haven't read it properly. I wasn't even listening. How is it pronounced?
When he started his experiments
Fuck.
here,
I kept on saying Hughes. That's so stupid.
the cards told me that the well of
Just shows you how little I'm listening.
but its success would come on the day that Hughes was to die. The old man
Oh, it sounds like they are saying Hughes. Is the G silent?
drinking after that.
Maybe it is. I guess it is Hughes. Okay. Yeah, it is Hugh. It is Hughes, yes. I don't know why. I had... You know, there are those weird situations where you look at something with different eyes and you start to second guess yourself. Of course it's Hughes. Yeah, that's how you should pronounce it. Anyway, sorry. Of course the G is silent. Doomlink. Anyway, it's something that happens occasionally, and yeah, it's the second time it's happened recently with me. One day I launched 3 Ultimate and I looked at a quest on the quest board and I was like, this looks different to what I've been looking at for the last 8 years. What's happening? It was really weird. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't keep happening too much. Can you give me some help? That's okay, I was dead too. Okay. That's not the sort of thing that you'd be able to say in many situations. Can you give me some help?
I suppose I could spare a little help in memory of Hughes, or in celebration of his success. Whichever.
That's okay, I was dead too.
You're the one. Then that means
That is the
all makes sense.
most realistic way to continue the conversation after that point.
I drew the gravedigger, the running man, and the beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Oh my goodness. They are coming, and they have come. I'm going to fire this at you. How do you feel about that? Well, that looked pretty effective. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. Consumables. Okay, so when you advance in the game, it becomes terribly chaotic to find what you want in your inventory. I just added something to junk again. I'm not liking this junk system. It's confusing me. It's probably my fault at the end of the day, but seriously, it's beginning to bother me. Yeah, well, that sounds like a late game problem that I will have to introduce myself to when the time comes. Alright, we're using the staff for obvious Okay, perform special attacks and defeat enemies to gather threads of fate energy. Oh, really? Oh, here we go. I want to make use of this attack. Excuse me. There you go. That's pretty cool. Well fought indeed. More enemies. Oh, okay. You just gave me all of the threads of fate possible because you're so desperate for me to make use of it now that I've been introduced to the system. When your fate meter is full, the fate symbol will pulse. You can then use your fate energy to enter reckoning mode. Oh my god, that's what they meant when they put reckoning in the title. Reckoning mode greatly increases your speed and attack power, as if such a thing were necessary in a game where almost no challenge can be found, whether sought or otherwise. It lasts until either your fate meter runs out, or you fate shift an enemy. Ooh, fate shift. Doesn't that sound cool? Pull and hold. I'm sick of hearing pull. Press. Just say press. Shit. Pull and hold LT and RT to harness the power of fate. Enter. Am I reading this wrong? Pull and hold LT and RT to harness the power of fate. Enter reckoning mode now. Why is that one sentence? There should at least be a semicolon between fate and enter, if you're going to make it one sentence, but you've just added no punctuation whatsoever. You couldn't put a full stop after fate and then capitalize E for enter. You couldn't do it. Had to be one sentence. I'm reading this right. Surely. Can't believe it. Okay. Yeah, I've now entered this mode where the game becomes even easier. As you defeat enemies in reckoning mode, their fates will begin to unravel. Oh my god. Their fates will begin to unravel. I mean, they're dead. What do you think? Can they not die? Oh, here we go. Oh, you need to move near an unraveling enemy to perform a fate shift. This uses your remaining fate energy to destroy all unraveling foes and grants you an experience bonus. Okay. Here we go. Why? Ah! Give me more experience. Almost got 100%. Oh! Okay. Well, that was extremely exciting. Loot Tuatha Rogue. Yes. Oh. Talking to you is what I must do next.
What are you? The threads of fate.
I don't know what that hand gesture was that you were just doing.
Before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do
How? I attacked them with a weapon until they died. That is not manipulating fate. That is existing on this earth. How the fuck did I manipulate anything? How could he have witnessed? I mean, yes, maybe the inner workings of the situation were such that I somehow influenced fate in some way, but as far as his perspective, what I did was I walked in front of the enemy, I swung my staff at them, and then they fell over, and then I finished them off. That is not some sort of amazing rewriting of the future. It's just killing them. Have I missed something? I don't know. I just did it.
You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it.
I'm sorry. I'm an abomination. What are you going to do? Kill me?
Do a reading.
You sound like you want to.
Be able to change
Yeah, he's like, come here.
fate will still be your
Come here. I am actually close enough to touch you, and you're like, come here. What's wrong with you? You absolutely ridiculous man. Is this why Hughes sent me? I'd rather not. So the choice is either don't do it, or ask a question that has no relevance to the fact that he's literally just told me to come and receive a reading from him. Is the choice either to dodge the request or to flatly refuse?
Unlike most gnomes.
I didn't even read what he said, and I don't care. Here we go. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for... Okay. Fine, show me my fate. I don't believe in fate. Imagine if you responded with this, after having literally just, allegedly, bended fate to my will. Show me my fate.
Relax. This is what fate we
No, I'm nervous because you went, come here, when I was standing right there.
Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
At least I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much.
I'm real, you must be drunk, okay? What? That is just unnecessarily aggressive.
Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying
Don't point at me like that. Show some respect. You don't fucking stand with that sort of posture and do this sort of pointing. Like, I'm a person, I'm a human being as far as you're concerned. I'm not some sort of leper. What's this about? Show some fucking respect. Oh great, we've got destinies now, ain't we? Ugh, I have to work out what these are. The Fateless One, Brawler, Rogue, and Acolyte. Okay. Whatever one would be more appropriate for my chosen style of play, it would be the one that I should select. Here we go. I'm assuming because I can control Destiny, I can actually change it when I make my selection, which is to say that if I were to select Brawler right now, it would not be something that I'd be forced to use forever. I suppose Fateless means... Well, Fateless is what I already had, it seems. I will go with Acolyte, maybe? Yeah, Acolyte. Confirm. You're terrible at this. Whoever made this game is terrible at making text options or response options. I know there's a particular phrase for that and I can't think of it. What did you see?
I see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly. I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand.
Oh wow, your strength of feeling is so immense that your lips can no longer formulate the words you speak. It was so important for him to do that. It's just this fucking animated expression that apparently that was more important than having his lips move to form the words that he was speaking. I would have rathered that he didn't physically move like that. If it were a choice of one or the other, I think I'd prefer his lips to move. You know? Is that unreasonable? If you're going to have him do this business and then suddenly not, that is going to be more concerning to me than having him not be animated and physically expressing his emotions to me. Anyway, fuck me. You're terrible at this. No. What does this mean?
It could mean nothing. Or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that. Or maybe the cause.
No wonder I remembered you. You're a fucking mess. You're a mess. Fuck me.
I'll meet you home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
When I saw this guy for the first time in 10 years, some moments ago, I was thinking, geez, what was so memorable about this guy? I'm starting to remember. In fact, I saw him glide towards me like some sort of divine creature or divine being. And now he can speak without even needing to move his mouth. He's communicating with me telepathically. One can only assume. And, yeah, anyway. What's wrong with my fate? What? No, I'm apparently supposed to continue talking to him.
Can't quite decide if you want to hear what the cards say, can you?
That is not what's going on. You have a big question mark over your body and it's concerning me.
But that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there.
Thank you. I would rather not travel with you, to be honest. You concern me. I actually feel as if my safety will be compromised if I remain in your presence for much longer. I don't know what it is. It's something of a gut feeling. Press the A button, man. I know it's hard to imagine that it's the same button to loot as it is to run, but you have to get used to it. You better start getting used to it quickly. Alright, I think we will finish up here. We have been going for a bit over 2 hours, I think. How long has it been? It has been 2 hours and 12 minutes. That is enough. Press escape to continue. What the fuck? I pressed the start key. What is oh, I see. That is what happens if you're playing mouse and keyboard. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, mouse and keyboard. Look at it. It's probably better, isn't it? Would I be amiss? Or would it be amiss of me, for me to say, that mouse and keyboard might actually be a little better? Oh shit. Oh, and look at that smooth transition from... Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I think I might actually prefer mouse and keyboard, guys. I just need to work out how to run. How do I run? Is it left control? No. Is it left control? No, I'm not running now, am I? It is left control. Hey, I think I like mouse and keyboard, guys. This controller business should fuck off. I actually don't like controller all of a sudden. Yeah, to be honest, I think when I next play, I'll be doing it with mouse and keyboard. I feel as if I have so much more control over the camera like this. I wasn't expecting... Look, generally speaking, I do not like to play 3D games with a mouse and keyboard. I would be actually bleeding from the eyes and weeping from the soul if I were to play a Souls game with a mouse and keyboard, but a game like this, fuck yeah, that's it. And having those action keys there associated with the numbers on the keyboard, that's great. That's awesome. How do I progress through them? Well, I don't have anything selected to the other ones, and that's fine. You know what? Next time we play, the controller is going away. The controller is going away. It is going to be mouse and keyboard all the way, and I hope you enjoy it when that time comes. I thank you for watching this first recording of the Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning livestream playthrough. I will see you the next time I'm doing this. Hopefully it will be sometime soon. And I bid you all farewell for now. Bye-bye.